Welcome back to the channel, y'all. This is the Civilized Woman channel. I hope y'all are doing well. I didn't mean to wait this long before getting back before y'all again, but I've been under the weather and just kind of acclimating to the new year. But while I was under the weather, all these things were happening. One of the things that happened was Kristy and Desmond Scott's divorce. Y'all know the YouTube couple, very very good looking couple, young couple, that they have a channel together. He's a chef. She does a lot of, like, her videos are a lot of pranks, typically against him, and they get a lot of views, and she gets to go to all these events, and they got lots and lots of followers. Well, they announced at the end of last year that Kristy filed for divorce. She cited infidelity as a reason why she filed for divorce. And y'all, people were shocked. People were shocked. I personally do not follow this couple. I do see them because you get, through shorts and different things like that, you do get to see them. But people were really, really shocked. And based on what they displayed, they seemed to be very loving to each other. He seemed to be very devoted to her and very doting on her. And so I can see why they would have been couple goals for a lot of people, or a lot of people, it kind of rocked a lot of people that they got divorced. But y'all, is there divorce proof that their marriage was doomed from the start? Let me explain why I'm asking if the divorce is proof that their marriage was doomed from the start. These two were high school sweethearts. They've been together since at least Kristy was 14. Since high school, they got married at 19 and 20 respectively. So they got married in 2014. They have two sons. They have a production company with each other. So prior to Kristy filing for this divorce, apparently Desmond had requested a separation. Don't know what happened. What I'm going to assume is, based on the fact that honestly their marriage is a large part, or at least was a large part of her content, is that it would not be a good look for the brand for them to divorce. So she probably may have asked him to hold off on that and try to get them to work it out. I think where he messed up at is that if he was truly serious about this, he should have just gone ahead and been the one to file for divorce instead of cheating to force her hand to divorce him. I think that's where he lost me at. So these people have been together since, like, their teens, and were married for 11 years. And so at the time of their separation into their divorce, she's 30, he just turned 32. So you are looking at a couple that got married very, very early. And according to couples analytics.com, marriages formed at a young age, particularly before the age of 25, have a higher risk of divorce, with studies showing 60% of the couple marrying between the age 20 to 25 end in divorce, and up to 48% from for those marriages under 18. So the sweet spot is for a lower divorce rate, around 15%, is typically between 25 and 29. So there are key factors regarding the success of marriage rate, right? The details with that. So teen marriages, and that's individuals marrying as teenagers, having 38% risk of divorce within 5 years. Now they were married. They made it to 11 years. Part of why people are shocked too about this is that they just made it. They just celebrated their 11th anniversary before this divorce news dropped. And then in their early 20s, roughly 60% of those couples who marry between the age 20 and 25 divorce. The best age range is the lowest divorce rates are for those who married between the age of 25 and 34, with the lowest risk of ranging from 14 to 15%. So key factors that contribute to higher divorce rates in younger marriages include lower emotional maturity, financial instability, and in some cases, limited education. This is also according to couplesanalytics.com. Well, from the reports of it, if the reports are true, financial instability is not much of an issue. Their apparent combined net worth is between 4 to 7 million, and it could really be more because they have millions of followers. In particular, Kristy, she has millions of followers. So I don't think limited education is an issue either, because from what I saw, Kristy has a college degree, or at least college experience, and Desmond is a trained chef. So he's a professional chef. So could it be emotional immaturity? Could that be the issue? Well, I have to say, their content is very interesting because based on what I've seen, it's purely for lighthearted entertainment. It's not anything that you would see and say, oh, this is something that I can learn off of. And although he seemed doting and loving towards her, I would imagine in my mind, the stuff she was doing is not something that I would want to endure a lot of, right? The jumping around, the outlandish outfits in places that don't belong, like the grocery, like dressing like you're going to the Met Gala, to the grocery store, that kind of thing, right? That would wear on somebody. And I don't know what their frequency is, or if there was like a talk about, okay, you may not always feel like being content, and it gave very much that the marriage was content. So could that be the issue, the pressure of your marriage being content, or did they just quite frankly grow apart? I think the truth of it is that these two got together very, very young, at an age where their frontal lobes weren't even developed yet, because scientists say that your frontal lobes don't develop till you're 25. They had no kind of formative experience without being in a relationship with each other. So everything they know about being in relationship is with one another. So they have not experienced life, the regular things you go through in your 20s and your 30s. And honestly, you grow apart. You grow differently. How you are at 20 is different at 25 and 30 and so on. And the key is to try and grow together. You're still going to grow individually, but you got to check in with each other to make sure that you're growing together in the same direction. And they made a major life decision by making that commitment. So now they're growing, and so you got the separateness, and then the growing, and then trying to mesh that together, and that could be a challenge. So I just think that he got tired of being content, and from the amount of notoriety, and I think the amount of money that they're making, she gets a lot of sponsorships. I don't think that would be something that she would be willing to give up. Like, had he said, I don't want to do content anymore, I don't know if she'd be willing to give that up, because again, their marriage was such a large part of her content. I don't know if she would have been willing to give that up. So I think he took the coward's way out, in my opinion, because he could have left the situation in a more honorable way, but he took the coward's way out by cheating on her and forcing her hand to have to divorce him, when if it was just a matter of he just was ready to separate for whatever reason, he should have just stuck to that and let them end it on a more amicable level than to go out being on record as being unfaithful, when they have two young sons that at some point is going to see that. So what is all of this going to look like? I'm curious to see what this is going to look like for her moving forward. He seems to be doing a lot more of his cooking stuff. I see her doing, different things here and there, but in particular for her, I'd be interested to see what her content looks like once they're no longer together. Mind you, they just built a house. So it's kind of like they had did all these things together, and then now this has ended. So only time will tell what this would look like. But the bottom line is, I think this is largely just a point of two people that grew apart. So was their marriage doomed from the start based on the fact that they got divorced? Not that there are any evidences of young marriages that have been successful. I think it depends on the people, but I think definitely the fact that they were young when they got married, the obstacles that come with that definitely could have played a part in their divorce. So until next time, y'all, I'm going to try and come back with more content. Take care.